Welcome to the Penny Z Show, where you get to learn how real people overcame real issues. Get ready to take notes and, most importantly, take action. Here's your host, Penny Z. Hello, everyone. This is Penny Z with the Penny Z Show. We are here focusing on transforming lives one life at a time with topics that are real, relevant, and relatable. Today on the Penny Z Show, I have yet another amazing guest. I'm just so blessed that I get to meet and interview and have these wonderful people in my life. And now you get to have her in your life as well. Please welcome to the Penny Z Show, Michelle Calloway. Michelle, welcome.
Thank you so much, Penny. It's great to be here. I'm excited to.
It's awesome. And you know, the topic of your business, which I know you'll share with us a little bit after your backstory, is just amazing. So I can't wait for you to share, because we've had a conversation before this, and you know, you've got an amazing story and amazing business to share with our listeners. So let me just kind of give our listeners an idea, a little bit of bio information, and then we will start right in. So listeners, Michelle Calloway is a speaker, an international best-selling author, and the founder and CEO of REVEALiO, Inc. It is an innovative software solutions company specializing in augmenting reality interactive experiences. And she's going to tell us more about what that is and how that can help you. Michelle is driven to success in response to a calling she believes has been placed in her life. Her goal is to make these augmented reality experiences accessible and affordable to everyone, to enhance human relationships, to empower business owners, and to have more impact, influence, and income in your life. Again, welcome Michelle Calloway. Michelle?
Yes, thank you so much, Penny. Yeah,
it's happy great. To be. Now, is there anything, sometimes you have things that you would like to share with our listeners that are a little bit related to your bio, perhaps maybe the title of your book or anything? Is there anything else you would like to share with them before getting into your backstory?
Well, I'm actually very excited. I've been promoting this a lot recently, is that we are getting ready to launch our Experts and We're getting ready to launch our Experts and Influencers, the Leadership Edition book. It'll be my 6th publication. It's a compilation book, but there's a total of 18 authors that are speaking truth out there to those who are hopefully feeling that nudge, that inkling that they need to step up into a leadership position. So we're very excited about that. It's going to be such an incredibly powerful tool out there to help guide and direct people and just give them encouragement, inspiration that they too can do this if this is what they're being called to do. Step up and lead and be a source of influence and inspiration for others. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you. First off, congratulations. Secondly, let us know when that is launching and how we and our listeners can help support you and obviously buy the book. If it's going to be public on Amazon or in Barnes & Noble or any of those wonderful.
And we're going to be utilizing this augmented reality technology on the cover of the book as well as within chapters of the book as well. So it's also very exciting.
Excellent. Well, you're inspiring me. I have a book in me, but I have yet to write it. So perhaps in the near future, this will inspire me to start my first book, since you're an author of 6. So thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Michelle, as we spoke earlier, one of the things that I just love doing is obviously empowering people. I believe that by changing our mind, we can change the trajectory of our life, of our mindset, of our success, abundance, how we think. If we think better, we know better, we do better. So we are in a series right now that I call Overcoming I'm Not Enough, because we all have a story, and some of us have multiple stories of not feeling good enough. And then teaching people how to have tools and techniques to overcome that so that they can live their best life. So if you would do us the honor and share us one of your backstories of overcoming, or what it was that you weren't feeling good enough.
Yes, I actually grew up in a home where I had an older brother who physically abused me a lot. And so, and I also was kind of a tomboy girl. I didn't really have like the long flowing locks or the batty, eyelashes that I could just bat at the cute boys or anything like that. And I actually grew up with a very strong inferiority complex and would just kind of fade into the background and when I'd enter a room, because I just didn't feel at all that I was enough or worthy even of being paid attention to. And the neat thing for me is that I discovered a lot about myself when I stepped out of my environment when I was a young teenager, even preteen. When I was 11 years old, I actually started working on a ranch. It wasn't my idea, it was my parents' idea. They really thought that this ranch lady, the lady that owned the ranch, could really use my help. So I stepped out of my normal home environment, got away from my abusive brother, and went to work on this ranch and found myself. And that was a huge part of me stepping into, oh, Michelle, you could be funny. Oh, funny's good, right? So I discovered that I could be funny and had a sense of humor. And then my energetic personality started to kind of shine that, hey, I'm actually an encourager. I'm a cheerleader for people. I want to see people be successful. So I started stepping into my identity not based upon how I looked or how I felt that I looked. I started tapping into more of the core of who I am. And then later I discovered my faith, and then I ended up meeting the love of my life. And he, combined with me stepping into understanding my faith, really helped me overcome a lot of that inferiority complex. I couldn't even handle somebody complimenting me. I just did not feel it was authentic because I didn't receive it authentically. So that's a little bit about who I am. But now I find myself on stages, I'm doing Facebook Lives. I'm encouraging others to step into what it is that they're being called to do. So it is totally doable to overcome those fears, those thoughts, and I'm a living testimony of it. I'm sure you have a story that inspires others to realize that they too are worthy. We're all worthy.
Absolutely. Well, and my story that I share and then comments through the Penny Z show is, I felt not good enough in every aspect, probably very similar to you when I was a little girl, and it happened when I was 6. So, how young were you when you experienced those feelings, or could you remember feeling those feelings for the first time?
I think probably when I was in kindergarten, so 6 years old, somewhere around there, where my memory was really kicking in. And, I had a crush on this boy, but none of the boys ever gave me any kind of attention because I guess I just assumed I wasn't pretty enough.
Yeah.
So
I had the same situation. I was, I guess, teased or bullied growing up as well, both by boys and girls. And, my mom would say, oh, they're just jealous. But as a child, when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, I don't know that I processed it in that same way. And so for me, being bullied or being teased wasn't that they were jealous of me, is that I wasn't good enough, right? I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't tall enough. When I got into high school, I wasn't athletic enough and smart enough to get the better grades, or like you said, to be recognized by the good-looking boys or at least the good-looking boys I thought in school. So it's interesting for you. I want to congratulate you because it sounds like at an early age, first off, you identified this. That sounded like around 11, you knew this was going on, which is an awareness that I don't know that we all have as a child. And you identified it, and then you did something about it, right? I
worked on, it was a long process. It didn't just happen in a year. It was a long process. I got to tell you the coolest story though, when I did meet the love of my life and we were dating, and I was just a young girl. I was still probably around 16 years old, and he was 4 years older, so that would have put him right around 20, right? So we were at dinner. We'd been dating for a little while, and he complimented me. And I rolled my eyes, which I typically did, and I said, okay, thank you. And I just tried to shrug it off so that we could move on past it. It was always the most uncomfortable thing for anybody to pay me a compliment because I just didn't believe it. And he slammed, and he was a kind of a quiet, more gentle soul. He slams his fist down on the table, and he raises up and leans forward to me we're in a public restaurant, and he's doing this. He's leaning into me, and he says, I am so sick and tired of you not accepting my compliments. I'm not saying these things because I have to. I'm saying these things because I truly mean it. And I'm so tired of you not believing it. And I was shocked. I was so shocked. I had no concept that my lack of belief in myself or my lack of being able to accept a simple compliment could be so potentially offensive to the one who's giving that compliment. And I was just taken aback, completely taken aback. And I made a promise to myself on that day that I will stop. I will stop. And I will receive it. I choose to receive it as truth. And boy, was that a hard thing for me. So every time from then on, anytime anybody said something that was kind and it made, was complimentary, I told myself, thank you. I choose to receive this. And I tried. Even if I couldn't receive the entirety of it, I could just start receiving a portion of it. And then as I continued to do that, and when I would look in the mirror at myself, I would also look in the mirror and I would say, you are worthy. And I would laugh at myself at first when I'd say that. I would laugh because I didn't believe it. But the more you do practice these things, it does become easier to accept.
Absolutely.
And so it was a good couple year-long process. And then, of course, like I said, I found my faith. And once I identified who I was, not just in my own flesh, but my higher purpose, boy, did that help lock things in. And I really believed that's when a huge shift happened in my life.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations for identifying and the work that you do. And you're absolutely right. It doesn't, a decision to change could happen with a flip of a switch, but the process to do that may not happen overnight or as quickly as we'd like it. But it's also, I think, a limiting belief that I don't want people to think, oh my gosh, it's going to take years at the same time. You could change in 3 months or 6 months because part of what you were doing was affirmations and manifesting. So we manifest positively and manifest negatively. And so if we say it's going to take 2 years, whatever it might be, if it's, overcoming I'm not enough, then there's a good chance it's going to take 2 years. If we say, oh, I'm going to get over this, in 3 months, well, it might take 6, but that's shorter than the 2 years. So, good for you in, like I said, identifying it at a young age. For me, I carried it around way too long, over 40 years that I self-sabotaged, and I didn't even realize I was doing it to myself. So I want people and I want listeners out there at any age who's listening to Michelle to know that you can change, and the sooner you change, and the more you manifest and the more you're able to make your mindset shift, the better your life. It gives you tools to be able to deal with life, not saying your life's going to be perfect, but your life becomes exponentially better than before your I'm not good enough story. But I just want to also acknowledge as well the challenge I think that humans and especially women have in accepting compliments, especially with the mindset that we have. So that's so insightful for you to share that story with us. And I just want to thank you for that, because I had a similar experience, but it was a room of 30 people. It was a little over 2 years ago. And my mentor said, Penny, we're going to do an experiment with you. Just go with me. And I'm like, okay. So I had to stand up in front of the room. And I had shared with them that I was feeling not good enough and invisible, and a lot of the stories that you had mentioned. And he goes, okay, everybody, I want all of you in one word or a very short phrase to say what you see in Penny, like compliment me. He didn't say compliment me, but he said, I want you to share what you think about Penny. And I will tell you, it was one of the most frightening things I have ever done in life, because all I knew was that I wasn't good enough, and all that everybody in the room was going to say bad things about me. And one by one, they went around, and it wasn't, not one of them said a bad thing about me, but thank God they recorded this whole experience, because I was so nervous and I was shaking and my stomach was going that I didn't really hear what they said, but I knew that what they were saying was complimentary. But after that, thank God I recorded it. So for anybody out there who's doing this experiment, record it, because you may not receive it. Like you said, you may not be able to receive it at the time. Every day for 7 days after that, I listened to those positive affirmations and compliments that people gave me to be able to help work through that fear of accepting a thank you or a compliment. So thank you for bringing that up. That just brought a whole memory to me. So I apologize for taking up more of your time. So we'll get back to talking more with Michelle, but I just wanted to share that with you and the listeners. So Michelle, you've obviously identified this not good enough, this experience that happened in your childhood. You worked on it. You had this wonderful tough love kind of experience with your husband, who wanted you to receive his compliments. And it's a gift for us to receive their compliments. And so take us now on to the next part of your journey.
Well, okay, so after I started getting more confident, I guess that's what it was more confident that I was indeed somebody worth something. You know, I didn't still fully understand my value at that time. I'm continually stepping into that as I speak. I mean, aren't we all still always evolving?
Sure.
But we lived a beautiful life. I had two beautiful girls, and then my husband ended up getting sick. And then my world started to kind of fall apart. And it really, really challenged my faith. It challenged a lot of things. And ultimately, he ended up passing away. And it was very traumatic. I was a widow at 34 years old, and with two beautiful daughters, and not really knowing what I was supposed to do from here on. You know, it's like he kind of was my world. I didn't realize how much he was kind of like, he was my everything.
To hear that, obviously.
And so in that process, I really had to have a whole lot of come to God moments, you know, like, what is my purpose? Now that he's not here, I know I'll be a mom, but beyond that, what is my purpose? I don't know. I really did tell him, I'm all in, whatever you want me to do. I don't even know if I should go forward, should I go left, should I go right? I mean, I really had to seek a higher power. So I reached out and I really dove all in to God. And then a couple years later, I ended up starting up my own graphic design agency because my background is in visual communications, and then felt like, you know, that was a good fit. I was encouraging clients. I was able to help them have some more visibility. I was helping them with their branding and whatnot. And then I got by the way, I also got remarried to my other new best friend. So he's a wonderful man, and he's my business partner now to this day. And I'm very thankful that God has blessed me with two great men in my life, which it does seem like I have two different lives that I'm living, because my old one was so vastly different from the one I'm living today. But what happened was I was introduced to a technology in 2012 when I owned my own graphic design agency that just literally rocked my world. I couldn't sleep for 2 whole weeks, strung out like crazy, because what was this thing that had gripped me so hard, and why me? Why was this happening to me? I was perfectly fine being just, you know, graphic design, helping people with their marketing. But it's called augmented reality technology, and that is when I felt this huge shift in my life that I'm being called to build something. Mm-hmm. Never in my wildest dreams would I have ever imagined old little Michelle, you know, to be called into leading a movement. And this augmented reality technology actually acts as a portal that bridges the real world with the virtual world in a way that I've seen it enhance human connection that rocks my world, because now that I've lost the love of my life, I truly do understand and value human relationships. That's what business is all about. That's what life's all about, is the relationships. Things you buy, they can be taken away, but the memories and the relationships that you get to have, those are the real gifts in life, right? Mm-hmm. So through building up REVEALiO, which is it means to reveal something magically, I stepped into it, and I was scared because my background wasn't technology. My background is more visual communications and some marketing, but stepping into a role as a female tech founder in my 40s was just like, what am I doing? But I really do believe that I have a higher purpose in all of this. And so I stepped forward out of obedience, because what else am I going to do? I mean, when you can't sleep for 2 whole weeks, you have no choice. You have to just say yes. Mm-hmm. So along the way, the journey's been real. It's been a roller coaster ride. I've had to analyze my life, my friends, and who do I need to hang out with. So essentially what I'm doing is I started an initiative, and it's called Tech with Heart. And Tech with Heart is a platform, a community platform that I am leading to help empower business owners, personal people. I mean, whatever, if you want to have a business or not, you could really benefit by being a part of that community, because we enlighten people as to what's happening in the technology space in a way that dumbs it down so that it's easy to understand. And then also we provide a great platform of vetted experts that can come to the table to offer services that will help you take those steps to implementation.
That's amazing.
And then in the end,
I need help.
Awesome. We'll have to work with you. And in the end, what we're going to do is we're going to have a philanthropic arm that's going to the proceeds that we end up making out of building this membership community will actually place children in loving permanent home environments through fostering or adoption. And that was all shown to me through a vision. It's like awesome to be led by, I know it's God. God's leading me on this journey. So I built REVEALiO, and now I'm still running REVEALiO, and now I'm building Tech with Heart community. And in the end, I know we're going to have this philanthropic arm to it all, and it's quite the ride. It's just awesome.
That's fantastic. Congratulations, obviously, for being a trailblazer in the world of women and technology.
Yes.
I commend you for that. That's a weak link in my skill set. So I honor and respect people who have that talent and expertise, and much success. It sounds like you have obviously two, not necessarily separate businesses, but two mutually exclusive businesses with Under Technology Teaching, and then obviously REVEALiO with the business card connection, and then now helping to empower and when given abundance, you're giving abundantly, and helping children and families. So thank you for that and for everything that you're doing in there. Any other information you would like to share? I want to kind of ask the question on what is the augmentation reality experience, and I'm not saying that. I feel like you might have explained it, but just in case some of our listeners, including me, are not techie, could you kind of go into that a little bit more? And you might have some more that you want to share about your business.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So what we're finding is that people are craving, consumers are actually saying, 80% of consumers were identified from Salesforce, saying that they wanted to have an experience with the brand before making a buying decision. And with Amazon and everything that's happening and the shifting of the business landscape, is that we need to find ways to engage in a fresh, edgy way so that we can, and we have a very short window of time to create that level of impact and influence. So what I've seen augmented reality do is when I combine augmented reality, which is an interactive technology in the virtual world, very similar to virtual reality, but augmented reality does not require you to be removed from your real world environment. Pokemon Go. For those of you who have heard of Pokemon Go was one of the first mobile app games that came out that implemented augmented reality. So when you're out and about hunting for these Pokemon characters, Pikachu characters, you could enter into the 3D realm where you could look at your lawn in front of you, and a Pikachu character would actually appear as if it's right there, but it's only visible through the smartphone, right? And in Iron Man movies, when he puts on these special glasses, he can see virtual content and he can interact with it all around him, but it's not there to the naked eye. It's only when being viewed through these smart lenses. So that's what augmented reality is. And after Pokemon Go came out, Facebook, Google, Apple, all of them shifted their viewpoint, and they stopped focusing so much on VR, virtual reality, and started realizing that there's actually a tremendous amount of real life application that could be used right here really quickly in the augmented reality space. So AR is like a cousin to VR. So what I've done is I've taken this incredibly powerful tool, augmented reality. It's very interactive in the virtual realm, but I've combined it with the strong visual storytelling power of video, because video is really, it's king right now. And it does a beautiful job tapping into the visual learners, telling the story visually, but you also can hear it. And then you can read, there's text on the screen. So it taps into 3 of the dominant learning styles. Blending the 2 together, video with augmented reality, actually completes that circle by adding that kinesthetic learner, people who like to touch real objects. So augmented reality combined with video marketing makes marketing materials such as a logo on a banner, or an invitation you're sending somebody in the mail, or a t-shirt you're wearing at a trade show. Any of these items can come alive now because of augmented reality video marketing. That's what REVEALiO has done. We've built a very simple and easy to use tool for small business owners, and you don't have to be tech savvy whatsoever in order to make it work, because we really do want to make this possible for everybody. So if right now I'm going to show you something, I have a rack card here, and it has like my branding on it, it has some messaging on it, right? So every image on my rack card, when I hold it, my phone up to it with my app, it comes alive. Let's see if I can get that to work.
Yeah, I see it.
You see that? So you now have another level of communication and connection that you can demonstrate to somebody when you're out and about networking. And then call to action buttons show up on the mobile screen that can then drive them to go to your online, whatever, your portal. You can give them a gift. You can convert your business card or your book cover to be a gift book for them by watching them watch it come alive, and they can opt in with the gift button, and then they can go claim whatever it is, the value that you have for them. At the same time, you're now gathering their information, so now you can have a conversation with them as a follow-up. You can be engaging them through your marketing funnels. So there's a lot of power by bridging these two worlds together in a visual way, far beyond anything a QR code could have ever dreamed of doing. And it's dynamic, and people are screaming in delight when they see things coming alive, and it's so captivating. Inc. magazine actually did an article on REVEALiO stating that this is the most organic conversion, and when you find that you're able to captivate people like this, it's just a beautiful tool to get them right into converting quicker and to becoming a customer of yours. So whether you're a coach, whether you're a real estate agent, if you want to make an impression, this is a good tool. So
absolutely.
So that's what we've built, but we also are a software development company that can build anything that's custom for any company that wants to go down a more innovative path to customer engagement.
Well, Michelle, thank you for obviously going through that and explaining that, because I'm sure that there were some listeners, including myself, that wasn't quite sure, but that was very simple. You can tell the passion in your voice and the excitement, and you can tell your purpose through sharing your story on that. For those listeners, there is a few visuals, so if you do want to go to the YouTube, the Penny Z Show YouTube, and see some of Michelle's visuals during this portion of the presentation, you can actually see it. But as we get we're getting close to ending the Penny Z Show, and I never like to let my guests go because I always just have such fantastic, interesting conversations with them. But time does require us to come to a close. I'd like to ask my guests two things. The first thing is if you have any final words of wisdom to our listeners, personal or professional. And then, obviously, how can our listeners get a hold of you if they're interested in following up with Michelle, Calloway, and REVEALiO?
Well, what I would like to encourage anybody that's in business for themselves is to don't feel overwhelmed by how much there is to do or how many things are changing around you. Just realize that there are people out there to help you with these shifts. Right? Because it's important to stay relevant, but keeping human connection at the core of it all. Don't get sucked into the trap of automation entirely. I think that there's a tremendous amount of need for us to still stay high touch. We call it high touch, where you're spending time with people or allowing them to truly and authentically connect with you. I really believe video is one of those tools that you should be using. So that's my word of encouragement. Augmented reality is just that shiny diamond that shines so bright that is that star power that you can add to it. But it's not a must. It's just, don't use it if you don't want to get noticed, okay? So that's my word of wisdom. And then if you are interested in learning about either more about how you can utilize this tool for your business, or you just want to perhaps join that Tech with Heart initiative where we really, no dumb question is a dumb question, right? We really want to come alongside you and support you and take a lot of that stress away from you where you feel like you have to stay on top of all this new technology. It's too overwhelming. That's our job. We do all that deciphering for you. So just come and you can reach out to me at info@revealio.com. It's the word revealio.com. Just reach out to us at info@revealio.com. And I'd be more than happy to share any links like joining the Tech with Heart on Facebook or website or just learning more about what REVEALiO can do to help your business. But my free gift, can I talk about my free gift, Penny?
Sure, please do.
That I am more than happy to spend a half an hour just talking a little bit of strategy with you in your business. Like I mentioned, Tech with Heart is all about taking away all that scary stuff about things you don't know, especially when it comes to technology and how you can be a little bit more innovative and relevant, and taking a look at what you're doing and seeing how we can help you, whether if it's with us or somebody else. I have got a tremendous network that I've been building of other experts that can potentially help you with any problem you may be experiencing in your business. So half an hour strategy session with Michelle. That's my
Thank you, Michelle. That's a fantastic offer. So all of our listeners, you'll want to contact Michelle. We will have all of her information on our website, of course, at www.thepennyzshow.com. We will have her interview on all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, so you'll be able to follow and find Michelle through The Penny Z Show. And again, thank you for the free offer. So tech doesn't have to be scary. Tech's a tool. So contact Michelle and have her help you with your business. And everyone, as always, this is Penny Z with The Penny Z Show, and we wish you a fantastic day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Penny.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you so much for listening. If you want to hear more, including specific ways to empower yourself, go to thepennyzshow.com.